Hello, world, and we're back. It's Ryan, aka Healing Chefs, Crowns and Corner, so many different names. But today we have Up North on the podcast, in place of Geoffrey, the founder, because he has food poisoning. We've all been there. I give myself food poisoning, which is quite a bit different. But we have Ian here. Everybody, Ian, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, y'all? Great to be here. Thanks for having me, Ryan.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, we've been working on this coming up, and just so everyone knows, the Healing Chefs podcast is all about healing and stuff. Everything from the culture of Canada to psychedelics to, being able to talk about the things that aren't so easy for people. But today we're kind of focusing on Up North, the Humboldt brand, and also they are out here in Arizona and just about, everywhere about arises. I would
Pretty
think.
much. Pretty much.
So,
Illinois, Arizona, and California. Yep.
yep. Only places we need to know today. um, so um, so Humboldt is if for those that are just like maybe listening for more mental health, Humboldt is where I think some of the best cannabis and some of the best culture and everything has come from, and that's where Up North is from. And I wanted to ask Ian, how has being rooted in Humboldt influenced the way that those with Up North and everybody see cannabis culture?
So I feel like with up north stemming from Humboldt, like that's kind of the root, no pun intended, of like the up north brand and still carries through, even though, yes, we've expanded it to multiple states. Like that's still what the brand is all about. Like it's still about keeping land race alive. Like it's still about those original genetics. And I think through the genetics that Jeff, the founder of Up North, and his team and many other legacy Humboldt cultivators, brought those strains to market, well over a decade ago. Like still keeping those same strains not only accessible in the California market, but now expanding it to other states, I think lets consumers who maybe they weren't as involved in the traditional market, or they're just starting, or they're getting more into it because of, legalization. And it lets those people kind of connect with, this fucking storied legacy of cannabis that maybe not everyone knew about. Now we're able to tell that story. And for people who are getting into the industry or just consumers or whatever, realizing that like, hey, this isn't just like, this didn't just happen, like people have been putting in work, and you know people have been working their whole lives to make this happen, and now a lot of us are enjoying the fruits of that. So yeah, the history of Humboldt and the legacy market is a big part of the brand's identity.
Heck yeah. Yeah, because just looking at the strains, like you're saying, the land races and stuff, but it you guys really highlight your deep connection to the land. Especially we were kind of touching on you know uh, global warming, and speaking of all those kind of crazy things. How do you bring that philosophy into your like cultivation and products?
So obviously, like any cannabis product, for the most part, it starts with the strains. And I think, it was a long process when we brought, what had been small craft grown cannabis, in Humboldt, bringing those strains to our Illinois cultivation and to our Arizona cultivation. Jeff and other members of the original Up North team, were out at our Illinois grow, at our Phoenix grow, like
Mhm.
every step of the way, checking in with our cultivation teams in each state, like making sure that as we brought those plants to a mass market, that everything was looking right, everything was still in keeping with the quality that people in the California market had come to expect from up north Humboldt. So I like to think that we do that pretty well. And I know, we anytime we come out with a new up north strain in these other states, you know, people in the markets are really excited to have access to that. I just recently, since the last time I got it in the traditional way, probably 15 plus years ago, smoked some up north headband, which
Um,
was very exciting for me because I haven't smoked headband in a long fucking time. And even then, you know, the shit I smoked way back, I don't even know if it was true headband or not, but I know this is. And so, you know, as someone who I wasn't part of that original Humboldt scene, you know, I've been in the industry for about a decade now, but you know, I'm still relatively young, you know, where that's all concerned. And so even for me, like being able to, you know, smoke something, you know, with this much history is yeah, it's just really gratifying.
makes the experience a little richer, more
A
rich,
hundred percent, a
more.
100%.
Yeah,
Because it's
and that,
culture, man. I mean, you know, that's what you're all about. This is culture. It's not just let me get high. Like I'm connecting to something greater than myself, you know?
absolutely, because there's whole lives and sacrifices, and it just it's kind of weird for myself who used to be. I mean, I never really made any money, so they can come for me. But I was always doing it just to smoke for free. But
No doubt.
I was a guy for a while, and like um, it's just to see the change. I do like to see that people actually are paying homage to those that came before, and not just being like, okay, it's a new commodity, and let's just Taylor Swift it. um,
I can't listen, we can talk about whatever you want, but I'm not gonna touch that one, my
yeah,
guy. You know,
you're good.
some of my closest colleagues are Taylor fans, you know, and I just don't touch it. You know, we can't
Yeah,
get into that.
no, yeah. Some of them, yeah, I know quite a few of them, but uh, that really doesn't mix with cannabis. Uh, in the heritage legacy culture, maybe the new culture, because we're bringing it to everybody. But
No doubt. A lot of scary changes along the way. You
oh,
know,
for sure.
that's for sure.
We all wanted
But
everyone to smoke weed, and then when we did, we're like, wait a minute. Then we got people saying you can't smoke weed, and I don't say that, but I mean, I want my culture to stay my culture, and everyone else to be able to add on to that. That's all I ask.
I I completely agree with that, man. And you know, being somewhere in the middle myself, you know, like that's super important to me of like listen, like as, you know, my job is marketing weed, you know, like I get it. The kids want to smoke like flavored distillate vapes, you know, and
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. If that, you know, like if that is how someone wants to be part of cannabis, enjoy cannabis, like but like you're saying, I hope that over time, those people, you know, graduate to something a little more real, dare I say, and
Mhm.
start to learn more about the plant and the people who grew it and the people who are growing it and all that.
Yeah,
So I totally totally hear you on that one.
for sure. And more people in cannabis, I think the better. I just think we need to, even for people like myself, we need to be a little more open to letting other people in. So Taylor Swift people, we love you. It's just a joke. um, but so another thing. So we were talking about strains, and excuse me, you guys are known for quite a few different land races, and something that I saw is that your Maui Wowie recently topped sales. And what do you think? Uh, is it in that strain that made people, because you guys have the Durban Poison, the Sour Diesel, the NF1, legendary.
Yep, yep, yep.
Um, what do you think made the Maui Wowie? And my information could be wrong, but what do you think that one was that topped the sales there? Is that another one that people just love the lineage of?
I think so. And I think that was so we came back out with that one fairly recently.
Yeah,
So if I had to point to something, you know, I think like the other strains that you mentioned, you know, Durban is one. It's my personal favorite strain. that strain has been around since Jeff and them started this brand, over a decade ago, and that's been that same Durban this whole time, right? So people love that. It always sells well. But if I had to point to anything with the Maui, I think it's just like people hadn't seen it in a while and they were
Makes sense.
excited to get their hands on it, And I think our hope is to bring that into our constant rotation across all three markets with the Durban and the Sour Diesel and the NF1. White Widow is another one
Mm,
that we just kind of reintroduced. I mentioned the headband already, so
yeah.
um,
Oh yeah. Those,
I think it's not new but reintroduced and
fair enough.
exciting for that reason.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, every brand has stuff that go away and bring it back and stuff like that. But nice, nice. I do love all of those strains myself. Since we're talking about history and stuff, people, I mean, teaching lineage is something else that would be pretty dope for people. And that takes a lot. But like Durban Poison, people love cookies. Where does cookies come from? Durban Poison and OG Kush together.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
and different crosses of that. So then you get that, and then we have this and this and this, and that's what we're building on. And without that Durban Poison and OG Kush, you wouldn't get all the cookies and all the other stuff that everyone's doing nowadays. So um, that's dope that up north is keeping that together there. Do you what are the products yourself that get you excited in your lineup? I mean, I know you're marketing. You're going to say everything,
No, no, no. This is
which you
listen.
should, which you should. But
Like I said, distillate vapes are great. Everyone should buy them. But is that what I'm buying personally? No, it's not. So no, no. It's, straight up. I mean, obviously, I smoke a ton of flower, and the number one thing that gets me excited is kind of what we talked about is when new strains, especially new strains that are coming, through Humboldt, through Jeff and them, through the up north pipeline. Kind of like I mentioned, man, because I've yeah, I'm kind of, I'm not an old head. I'm maybe middle aged in the industry, so
mm,
there's still a lot of things that are exciting for me, that this is one that I, until we brought it out, I had never had it in my whole life, chocolate Malawi, and that's so anytime that I hear from Jeff or our cultivation team, oh yeah, this chocolate Malawi's coming down, next week or whatever. Yeah, I get super excited. I get even more excited if I can hop over to the grow and shoot some photos of it right before harvest.
oh yeah,
Obviously that's a passion of mine. But yeah, man, that's absolutely, the genetics are the number one thing that I get excited about. But in terms of like what else in our lineup, I really get excited about smoking personally. I'll show you now. This is a little off topic because I know we're mainly talking up north, but you will find some of your favorite up north genetics in our days off pot rockets.
mm,
And this is no marketing bullshit. This is probably my favorite pre-roll to smoke, in any market with any brand. Because with these, we do strain specific full spectrum hash oil infusion on these, and then they're keefed. So you're getting just, as someone with a pretty high tolerance, you're getting great flower and a true to strain experience. But you know,
yeah.
packing a little bit more of a punch. So I smoke a lot of those. I smoke a lot of infused pre rolls or make them myself sometimes. But definitely the genetics are still the most exciting thing for me.
Dope. And without getting into any proprietary things, I know Arise grows aeroponically. Um, are you guys running the same thing for the up north in the different markets, or is it all run the same way? How are you growing that?
Okay, so
What do
in
you think?
Illinois, what's that?
whatever you can talk about.
I'm happy. This is like
Some
you're
people
an
don't
in.
want to give away the sauce, man. That's okay. Sometimes it's your recipe.
No, I'm absolutely happy to talk about it as much as I know personally, that I can speak to. And you're a legend. I think this podcast is a little inside baseball. We can talk industry, so it's all good.
Yeah.
So to answer the question, uh, in Illinois, all up north is grown aeroponically. Yes. The same is true in Arizona. In California, I can't remember if we talked about this last time I was on your show, but um, after acquiring Up North and Up North Distribution a few years ago, we've been building out a cultivation facility in California, that's basically a copy of our Illinois facility. So right now, we're still sourcing a lot of up north and cultivating a lot of up north, through Humboldt, and that will continue. But over time, we are going to be producing more of it using our aeroponic cultivation methods we've had a lot of success with in the other states, as our California facility, it's online already, but we like to do things carefully. We take our time, so it's not like the facility is up, but it's not like we immediately have every table filled with plants. We're taking our time, making sure that different climate, everything,
For sure.
that the whole system works perfectly before now we're growing way more Durban, we're going way more headband, whatever. We're taking our time with that.
Yeah,
um
and you and I talk. You like you said earlier. You guys come out to the different sites and are checking on the stuff. I mean, not constantly because you'd have to be living here, but in every state, and that you can't do that. But like coming out and checking on things and making sure everything's going well. So that's highly appreciated. To all the cannabis smokers and stuff out there. Um, do you guys have any upcoming strains or products that you're putting out? I mean, again, this is up north, but I mean, anything arise or days off too, whatever.
Okay, so upcoming strains, that would be, and I swear we'll work it out. We'll get Jeff on here. That would be kind of me,
Oh,
saying
selling the
saying
sauce.
saying Jeff's good. Yeah, I can't blow up Jeff's spot. He would, even though it's his fault that he's not here today. I don't want to, I don't want to speak out of turn on that. But you can bet that he and our whole team across the states are definitely working on some exciting, not necessarily new, but some genetics that I think everybody will be excited about.
Okay.
Um, but new
Maybe.
product wise,
Mhm.
so I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're good. I'll just ask those questions when he's not sick. No worries.
All right, great. Yeah, next time, I just want you to grill Jeff for a straight hour, and I'm just going to be chilling. Like and he deserves it after this. After he's now made me, represent him, and I'm all alone here, so we got to fuck him up next time. But anyway, uh the one new up north product I will give a quick little plug to, since you gave me the opportunity, is we're doing a 5-pack now of half-gram pre-rolls, the up north brand. So previously we've only had flower eighths and single pre-rolls, but we're doing, a pre-roll multi-pack now. And then very soon we're going to start to roll out bulk flower options. So
Hmm.
we're going to start with, and I don't want bulk to, it's still the same premium bud when it's in an up north package, obviously, but we're going to be rolling out quarters. And should those go well, we do plan to do halves down the line. We've already rolled out quarters and halves for our Rise flower, in Illinois and Arizona. And then with days off, we not only have those sizes, but we also do an ounce, since Days Off is more small buds
Hmm.
budget brand.
Yeah,
Um,
I've smoked all of it. I've gotten high off of every single brand. So Colt 45 works every time. Um, yeah, man, I enjoy it. It's been like I said, especially with getting reminiscent, being in older gentleman with the gram. I do like the Durban Poison and all the land races and stuff, especially like as much as we've talked about it, like in the industry, it just it's getting overcomplicated and stuff, you know. But you know, you mix this strain with this strain and this strain and this strain.
Hmm.
After a while, we just got fruit salad or just gas or you know diesel or something. But it's not really, I don't know. It's just so convoluted. It's just like I feel like some of the strains are like that game you played when a kid, Telephone. Uh, by the time it gets,
Yeah.
to you, you're like, what the fuck is this? So, uh,
No, for sure, man. And you mentioned, that like, lineage is something that's, super important to like just to maintain that history, as a culture and as an industry. And it does, like the way you describe it, sometimes it does feel like an oral history, like it feels like, as we both know, renaming and things like that do
mhm.
happen,
It
so
is.
so it is like, from my side, like as a marketer, like the idea of like, oh yeah, like we should take all our brands or whatever and do like a lineage tree, and we should really like talk about, and it's hard because sometimes you don't always know, and this thankfully isn't the case specifically with, like our up north strains and everything, but for the
Mhm.
most part it can be hard to know the true history of a lot of strains, especially the more modern ones. So I hear you.
Yeah, and
uh
a lot of
and
people
I
are
don't
doing
know.
the a lot of people are doing the tissue. Well, the tissue culture is becoming more and more prevalent because
Yeah.
people are wanting more. I don't know, authenticity. Everybody like everyone says that they have stuff, but like people want it proved. And also, I think the tissue culture is way more into the genetics of the stuff instead of just like the the genetics of the home grow. You know what I mean? Um,
Hmm.
Obviously, it's science and stuff, and people at home are just uh, failure failure success in it. But hell yeah. I would be smoking along with you, but the homie, I got some macaroons live hash rosin from the homie, and I dabbed that shit before I left, and I'm so fucking high. I was
You
so high
told me
riding in
that.
the car.
I was
I
gonna
had to take
say,
a
yeah.
yeah, I had to take a nap before this. Uh, and it wasn't even that big of a dab, so I'm pretty happy about that. So I feel like that's gonna last me a little while.
Seems like good shit.
Oh, very good. You come out here, I'll let you try some. Let's see. Now, here's something that's not Arizona, but here's something that I found about California that um what the hell, where did it go? So you've consistently ranked in like the top 10 for flower in California. What do you think drives that success?
I mean, I don't want to give the same answer to every question, but I do think that the genetics are a big part of it, man.
Yeah.
And again, I'm truly just happy to be here and be talking about it where this is concerned, because I personally didn't really have anything to do with it, but I think Jeff has been moving it, both in Humboldt and across, California, the different markets there for at least 15 years now, and he knows everyone, and that's true not only for him but our entire California team. We got about a dozen, sales and field associates that I'm happy to call my colleagues that are working up and down the state all the time. We have great relationships, because the thing with Up North, right? We're mostly talking about Up North, the brand, but we're also Up North, the distribution company.
Mm,
And, the Up North distro has been, a player in the California legal market, and a lot of the people who are part of it before the market was legal. So I think we just have really great ties in with the culture and the community, and that leads to having great relationships in the industry.
yeah, that makes sense. And you guys like collaborate with like Fig Farms and Wave Rider Nursery. I mean, how important are these partnerships for your quality and well and brand identity?
Well, so those are obviously brands that we work with, yeah, on the distribution side.
Right.
So they're super important. Again, they have been important to building Up North Distro to what it is today, and they remain important today, just as
Well, you're talking about everyone that you work with up and down. I mean, that's part of it right there with the distribution of those different things. Because I've tried quite a bit of the fig farm stuff through that you guys have had out here in Arizona as well.
hmm
I've enjoyed that for sure. You know what, in the whole lineup of the Arise, Up North, Fig Farms, Days Off, I haven't had anything. I'm gonna tell, and I'm honest because a lot of people in reviews and stuff, especially in Arizona, are afraid of telling the truth. I'm telling you the truth. There's not a thing within that I haven't enjoyed. But and but there's plenty of other brands that have a bunch of shit I don't like, and that's God's honest truth.
Hey,
Uh,
I appreciate hearing that, man. That means a lot to the whole team, I can tell you, because we know you are an honest reviewer.
Yeah,
So
I don't. Oh, what the fuck are you doing? Excuse me, but what are you doing if you're not telling the truth? What? Just shut the fuck up and quit reviewing. Just think you're not helping anybody
it's a
but
lot of
yourself.
it's people who just want to smoke for free, and they found a way to do it. Hey, I'll it's funny because yeah, you were talking
Uh,
earlier. I can't remember if this was pre-show or part of it, but like, it's like, yeah, you used to, be part of the traditional market to smoke for free, essentially, right? I did the same thing when I was,
yeah,
in college and after and shit, before I had other jobs. And I think the old like, hey, I deal so that I can smoke for free. And now it's like I influence so I can smoke for free.
fuck,
you know,
man. Dude,
that's
you just blew my fucking mind though, because I'm like, well, there you go, Ryan. So that's part of, like, I do psychedelics a lot and shit ties in, and it's like I'm complaining about this, but you just saying that is like, hey, you used to do something quite similar. Even if the weed wasn't the best or whatever, we had to get the shit off the shelf. So
no
fuck,
doubt. It's
damn.
kind of the it's kind of the thing, right, man? Like it goes back to the hey, the kids are smoking distillate, like it seems crazy to us, but like that's the culture. Like, I
Shit,
don't know,
man. I'd be,
we
I'd be,
just
I'd be really sitting in my own perspective, thinking it's the only one. it's,
we're all guilty of that, brother.
I love that, but I love these moments when I'm like, nope. But hell yeah. Another great thing, since we're talking about community and stuff, another thing that I saw is that I've seen up north running a lot of like food drives, pet supply donations, even planting like trees and stuff. Um, what do you think these projects mean? Well, obviously this is more to Jeff, but for the company and everything, what do you think it drives, especially trying to stay in touch with that up north Humboldt, tied into the heritage, into the ground. What do you think that means for the personality of the brand?
I mean, I think again, and yeah, this would be a better question for Jeff, but I think, because look, I mean, I can't, I'm not going to try to speak to the specifics of each one of those.
Oh
Obviously,
yeah,
I'm aware of them, but I'm not day to day involved in them. But we do similar things. We participate in different food drives and charities in Arizona, and we do a lot specifically with our 93 Boys brand here in Chicago and in Illinois. So
oh, I forgot about
I
the
think,
Three Boys.
yeah, in all three of our markets, it's definitely important. I mean, look, any fucking company should be giving back, right? Like, if you're a profitable company, you should be giving the fuck back to whatever community you're in. Like, it doesn't
And not
matter.
just for the tax write-offs.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, so those things have existed, almost as long as Up North has, and such initiatives have existed in our other markets as long as Arise and our other brands have existed there. And yeah, like I alluded to, here in Illinois, we have a whole brand that's focused on giving back, right? So I think it's just essential, as we take this thing that used to be, if you know, you know, if you're part of the community, you have access to it.
Mhm.
And now that, you know, we're one of the entities out here making money off it, you've got to give back. You've got to do things for the people in the community that you're part of and that are allowing you to make the money that you're making. I mean, that's it. I don't know how else to say it. You know, when we
Yeah,
have
and
Jeff on, we can talk to the specific ones. But yeah,
yeah,
man, I mean,
and I mean, um, it's a karma thing, but also I think it ties into the whole heritage brand and everything like that, tying into like that. It's not just about cannabis. It's not just about having fun. It's about the entire community as a whole, and trying to help out society. Not just we're not just here just to get high or whatever. We're all like so. One of the big things that's for me is I love smoking weed. You love smoking weed, but that's not the only thing about us.
a
So
hundred percent.
so I just like to be able to focus a little bit more on that instead of what I see in a lot of the culture that I don't like, and there's plenty of parts where people can have their fun, but um, the part where you're cool or whatever by what you buy, what brand you buy, what glass you have, or whatever that is, that's not my scene, and I don't want anything to do with that. What I like is stuff like Up North and everything that's trying to tie everything back in and help build the community from the ground up. And that way, everything can be better. We can all be better. So that's much appreciated. Um, and you've been answering well, dude. Don't worry about it. Like, we'll roast Jeffrey in time, but I mean, obviously, you're a Margaret. You're doing great.
Hey, appreciate that, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. And I appreciate what you're saying. You know, we gotta, I mean, yeah, it's like, look, it's just like we're a fucking, we have brands. Brands have to tell stories.
Hmm.
You gotta fucking sell your shit. I mean, like, we're not gonna pretend it isn't what it is, but like, you need to tell a story that includes the people that are part of your community, that not only are the people that are buying your product. You want to tell a story that is about inclusivity. And I think, like, you know, your point is a great one, that like sometimes this culture can be just based on hype or on who you know or on how things look. And like, you know, it's definitely important for me and for us as a company to like, no, this should be about like human beings like sharing something beautiful that's, you
Yeah.
know, a gift from God or a gift from nature or whatever, however you want to see it, you know.
Mhm.
It's a fucking gift, and if we're gonna make money off it, like we need to always focus on the people before anything else.
Yeah. And branding, I was talking to somebody earlier today. We were talking about branding. And I'm like, what is branding to you, man? He's like, well, it depends on what it is, and it's like it shows me what's good. And I'm like, look, man, let me tell you what branding is. Branding is a promise. Okay. A branding is a promise for an experience, for a quality, for consistency. That's what branding is. And if you're not using it that way, then it's not going to work in the long run, as far as I see it. Because you can sell weed all day, but that at the end of the day, there's going to be another strain or another brand to come out or whatever and everything. What people need to like learn is like consistency on a consistent basis. When I like so I go to the I don't go to McDonald's, but you go to any like franchise, right? And you go to it because fuck, I can go get a burger. It's going to be exactly like this. I'm not going to waste my money, and that's what a brand is. Now there are brands that are those McDonald's cheeseburgers, and then there's the brands that are Maestro Steakhouse and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it's your decision to find what's right for you. But yeah, branding, marketing is a promise. That's how I see it. I don't know. What do you think?
It's a perfect way to say it, man. I completely agree. And I think you're also making me realize that all I care about in my life is weed because I completely agree. I completely agree with you. I'm like, fuck, man, I do go to McDonald's. Like I do. Like I'm not in any way as discerning or like holding speaking truth to power as I am in the cannabis lane. Like you're like, fuck, I would never go to McDonald's, man, my body's a temple. I'm like, fuck it, man, yeah, like I,
Oh,
I'm gonna smoke an eighth of the finest craft grown in the world and then eat like two McDoubles, like
but
maybe I
it's a
gotta think
promise
about
that
other.
McDouble is gonna be fire.
Yeah, that's true, and I
I'm just
and
trying not to eat any of that stuff, but I have my own vices. Taco Bell is a horrible one. It's
well,
like
all right,
it's an immediate payback.
if we're gonna get real about this, man, I mean, I feel like it
Man,
is true that I eat at McDonald's, and that was like, it was true, but I was also maybe exaggerating it a
yeah,
bit to seem fun and entertaining on this video podcast. But I eat Taco Bell, this is real, at least twice a week. And you better believe I fucking pull up, I'm in the parking lot, I'm on the app customizing each and every item carefully because because if
oh,
you order each item custom, you know,
they got to make
a
it right then. You
exactly,
son of a bitch.
exactly.
That
And
makes so much
I've
sense.
I listen, I obviously, raise the minimum wage, I'm passing the blunt to the person in the window, if they're trying to, like I do feel for the plight of every person in America working at a fast food restaurant right now.
Fuck yeah,
But when I'm rolling home and I'm trying to chow down on a Taco Bell feast at the end of a long day,
yeah.
I don't want that shit soggy, And so sometimes you gotta remove some of the nacho cheese. You gotta customize some things a little bit. So by the time I get home, I've smoked a joint and now I'm ready to dig the fuck in. That shit is still fresh
This
and
son,
crispy.
I'm so after every podcast, I actually go to Taco Bell.
Wow,
So
I love that.
it's just something that I do, even though when I'm really working out, it's just something I do. So I'm gonna have to go do that.
I hope I I hope
It's gonna
I
be on the
I hope
story,
you do.
guys. It'll be on the story. You'll see
I
it.
can't wait. I can't wait to see that story, and
Thank
I
you.
and I can't wait to see your custom order. And I know it's going to be straight fire.
Yeah, always. But
What
yeah,
are you before we move on, you a
no, go ahead.
Diablo man? What are you doing
So
fire, Diablo? That
I
new
love,
that new green sauce, fire, worth the extra 20 cents.
yeah, I love Diablo. Um, every once in a while, if I'm maybe my stomach's just not handling it,
Mhm.
we'll go hot,
Hot's good.
but still like Diablo. I don't really that other stuff is like ketchup.
Yeah. No, no, the bottom one is no good, but I'm doing hot up and I'm mixing
Yeah,
it
yeah.
up. A little hot, a little fire, a little Diablo. All right.
The fire is okay, but I feel like it's a little thicker. I like the Diablo because I feel like it has like a lime. There's like lime in there
Mhm.
or something.
Mhm.
That's what I like.
Yeah, more complex, more of a terp profile, if you
Uh,
will, on the Diablo.
yeah, I don't like fake terps, but I'm gonna put it
Yeah.
on my taco.
Again,
I'm
I
a
only care when it's
walking
weed.
hypocrite, dog. Um, but that's just how it goes. But yeah, Taco Bell for sure. But being in Arizona, there's so much Mexican food everywhere. I If it's not Taco Bell, I'm eating Mexican food at least 2 to 3 times a week. It's just
Same is true in Chicago for sure.
yeah. When I was living in Missouri, I would go find the one like my parents were living in Wentzville, Missouri, and I was out there visiting them. I'm like, I want some tacos, and down the street, like a Mexican family took over a gas station, turned it into a mercado and a restaurant, and best fucking tacos I've ever had in Missouri. Like,
Damn,
yeah, out
that's
of a
what's
gas.
up. That sounds dope.
Yeah. So, um, hell yeah. Let me see. And then, well, we already kind of talked about, up north bringing out anything, but we'll save that for Jeff. Um, How do you how okay, this is a fairly good question. With the legacy cannabis brands, um how do you see legacy cannabis brands like competing and thriving in a market that's getting, well, as we're saying, closer to the uh hot dog water fucking distillate pens? Um yeah.
I mean, I
As
think
it's
like,
getting more commercialized, you know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, obviously, in Arizona how much, market compression there's been and shit. I mean, I think the most honest like answer I can give that maybe is like a little, inside baseball, the industry, whatever, but like you got to have like I think cultivators have brand portfolios, right? Like we're not going to do like Up North isn't going to do a distillate vape, right? But like, yeah, Days Off will, and it's going to be the best, most delicious, fun, potent distillate vape that you can get. But like, we have a brand for that.
Yeah,
We're not gonna do that with this brand. We're gonna do it with the budget brand that's more for the younger crowd, and for you and me, we're gonna keep this exactly what it is.
nice. Yeah. And that's that's what I like, because as a business, obviously you're going to try to encapsulate the entire market, and with that, you have different brands to do that. And that's another thing that I've seen recently, right? And you can
Yeah,
take this any way you want to, like people. But I forgot, it was a show or a movie, but there was a reel that someone put out, and the man drops down Johnny Walker, the like red, black, or black, red, and blue. I don't know the colors. I don't drink.
yeah.
But
I don't drink either, but I
the
know what you
blues,
mean.
the blue's the most expensive one. All right. He's
Yeah,
like, and and you can see in the bottles how much has been drank out of each one, and more is out of the less expensive one. And it's because people, for the most part, don't care. They just want to get drunk. And I see that in cannabis, for the most part, the majority of people don't give a shit about getting that into the culture. They want something quick and get up and go and just enjoy their day. But
yeah,
you can do what he was telling this man though is like, companies can do this, more people buy this, but then you have the select for this. Now this is better, but this is cheaper. But here's the thing, you can do all of it.
yeah.
Uh, you don't have to sequester yourself into one thing because of ideological things like myself. But
There's nothing
um,
wrong with being just one thing either, But yeah, as a fucking weed company, you got to be all things. That's
yeah,
for sure.
as a person, I can be more fuck. But
A
yeah,
hundred percent.
as a company for sure. You got people and all sorts of things to keep going, as well as once you start getting going and doing all the like the charity work and stuff like that, who wants to stop helping people? Not me. So
For sure. And I think it's like, to go back to your thing about branding, like branding is a promise, right? Like that's what's so important. That's why it's so important for us to have strong brands. Obviously that's what I focus on is branding and marketing. And it's like it's important to us because yeah, we're making one promise with this brand and we're making another promise with let me find an example. This is making a totally different kind of promise, right? They're both making a promise, and
it's
we
gonna
deliver on both promises.
this is
It's
gonna
just a
work, and it's not as expensive, and it's fun, and this is tied into legacy and culture and all that other shit, man. What
yeah,
experience do you want? You know,
exactly,
people go on vacations all the time. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? New
exactly.
destination. And for myself, I like to even try a lot of the well, shoot, it's been a rough summer, so I've tried some of the lower tier brands around Arizona and stuff like that too. Um, ain't no shame in my game. I I would much rather be able to pay my bills than have to be like borrow from Paul to pay steal from Paul to pay Peter, whatever that shit is. Keep borrowing and
Yeah,
doing this and moving money just so because I can smoke the thing that everybody else wants. when no one's around when I'm smoking the shit for the most part anyway. Those people, you know what I'm saying? So, um, find what makes you happy. That's all I'm saying, people. But hell yeah, man. That's pretty much what I had for like up north. Do you have anything else that you wanted to like throw out there for up north or rise, anything like that?
Um, man, I'm trying to think.
uh,
All right, there's one thing that I'll say that, you know, uh at least for you, and I feel like I was wondering if this would come up during the call because we've talked a lot about the branding, and we've also talked a lot about the compression, right? Especially in Arizona, and you know how that's going. So one thing I did want to mention for you specifically is I think you'll find a lot of our up north genetics right now, a lot of our up north strains being sold in Arise jars in Arizona. And the reason for that is compression. And, we have had to uh, basically, the sales team has had to, sell less brands into certain stores because of issues in the market there. And yeah, that has happened. And so, I just wanted you to know because you might see that when you're out in the market that that's something that's going on specifically just in Arizona right now.
I've seen like the chocolate Malawi and Arise and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
that's another reason that I wanted you guys on here is because I wanted people to know. I don't think as many people knew about up north, but up north, Arise, same thing, and you guys obviously are going to be able to find some of those strains in the Arise. And as we were talking about distribution, anybody that's listening, this is kind of how that shit works. And it's kind of how the market works, especially in Arizona. To explain to everybody real quick what happened in Arizona, a lot of people there's licenses, right? But not just licenses. People started renting out warehouses and different spots in warehouses to different people. So a lot of different people came, and a lot of people are growing with that. Not all the flour gets sold, so then you also get different byproduct brands like pre-rolls, carts, stuff like that, and then that got oversaturated, and then now still more brands are still trying to come in, and it just and then what happens also is that some of those brands that come in and end up going out, they get turned into a new brand and you don't even know it. So I'm gonna drop some knowledge real quick on people real quick. So House Exotics used to have rosin and stuff like that and flour. They're now Easy Tiger. Okay, that's the same. I follow the strains.
Yeah.
It's not hard, but that's just kind of shit that happens in any sort of business. So like I said in the beginning, we wanted everybody to smoke weed. We kind of got that now, so we kind of have to deal with these problems as well. And I'm not here to like really change a bunch of shit or like call people out or this or that, but to educate people, and so that maybe we can all make it better in the end. But I don't see any problem with that. I thank you for being honest. But um, I see Arise in Arizona as the distributor for those brands and everything, uh, whether
Exactly.
it's
You're
in the
right.
jar or not. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is, right? And just for all those that you just gave a excellent textbook breakdown of where the Arizona market's at now. And yeah, so for that reason, that's what's happening there. But yeah, it is what it is. The quality is the same. And I think we hope to, continue to bring that stuff to the people in your market that want it, like yourself.
Hell yeah. And I'll be doing a review not too long after this. We'll throw it on YouTube as well because IGB, man, I got knocked off the other day for like 30 minutes. I'm like, for
Brother,
for
bro, story of my life, man. I just
oh
had an
yeah.
account go down yesterday. Again, yeah, it was like an hour. It wasn't a big deal, but I personally still run 4 brand accounts. We have 3 others on top. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
brutal,
I don't know.
brutal out here.
I don't know if it's AI or just
It,
upset people or
I
both.
think it's a lot of the AI tools they're rolling out, right? Everything I've seen is like, yeah, they're trying to take care of the giant problem that they have of actual bad things happening, right? With AI, and then we're getting fucked over in the process.
Yeah, smoke on
But
that one, guys. AI is here to fucking take over. We're fucked. We're so fucked. Oh man, but hell yeah. Yeah, I really appreciate it. And like I said, we'll do that review and then we'll get Jeff going and stuff. But do you want to shout out anybody before we end this one right here?
well, I'd love to shout out my close colleagues that have been with me this whole time: Bryson Gabriels, Dylan Arloff, John Young, Ryan Thomas,
Whoa,
legends.
Ryan Thomas Miller. That's that. I am Ryan Thomas. But go ahead.
Hey,
sorry.
shout out to you then, my guy.
Shout out to Ryan Thomas's.
Yes, shout out to Ryan Thomas's all over the world. We love you all. Buy some weed.
Buy it.
Or, smoke some. I shouldn't even say buy some. Doesn't matter how you get it.
Just buy it. Just buy it. It's okay. You're gonna buy some anyway.
Yeah,
Up north. You want Landrace strains? You want classic strains? You don't really know cannabis as much as your friend does, but you wanna show off some lineage and some old school knowledge? Get some up north.
Yes.
They're gonna
start with the best.
You're gonna blow their mind by coming in with something that's legit instead of fucking fart runts.
Yeah, that would be horrible to show up to the rotation with fart runs. That would be
people would be like, "Oh, this stinks so good."
Yeah.
I love smelling my own farts.
Oh,
people would do it if you just named it something else.
But don't be that guy. Is what we're saying. Is what the takeaway is here.
Go get some up north. Go get some, or go Arise. If you're looking to save a little money or whatever, days off is dope. Whatever.
It's dope. Yes. Smoke them all. Love them all.
Oh yeah. I just wanted to. I'm sorry. Keep cutting you.
No, that was. I don't have anything else. Great being here. A great time.
I appreciate you, man. I wanted to shout out Habari Entertainment. Some people think that I do this out of my home. I definitely don't do that. This is a whole fucking studio. There's an engineer. He's laughing right over there, Damon. And we got Dip, and then we got Aisha. Family ties, family vibes. If you want to do a podcast on your own, hit them up. HabariEntertainment.com. HabariEntertainment.com. All black owned and operated. I mean, come on now, people.
Dope, amazing.
Support everybody, and you local drug dealer, Dispo, support them. Go buy some up north. Shout out to all the followers, all the listeners, all the sponsors, everyone that supported me now and in the future. Tap in, smoke up, trip out. We love you. Bye.
With love and compassion, we'll find our way. From the battlefield to a brighter day. With love and compassion, we'll find our way.